With the first trailer for Star Trek Discovery Season 3 being dropped at New York Comic Con's Star Trek Universe panel, there is plenty to be excited for and lots for us to analyse. So let's take a look.
Where will it go?
Wherever the answers are.
Hey everyone, my name is Captain Jack and welcome to Trek Central. The cast and crew of Star Trek Discovery shared with us a brand new Season 3 Discovery trailer, showing off new places, new threats, and new friends, such as David Ajala's Cleveland Booker and much more. It finds the USS Discovery and crew dropping into an unknown future filled with uncertainty, far from the home they knew. The show has been given an air date of 2020 but nothing more specific, and is going to be exclusive for CBS All Access in the US, though no news for other territories just yet, so I presume Netflix is still holding Discovery for the time being. With all the news this weekend, if you want to keep up to date, then make sure to subscribe to Trek Central here on YouTube to be notified for other videos covering the Star Trek Universe panels. Let's not wait any longer and jump into the future of Discovery. So, the trailer opens with heavy breathing, likely from Michael Burnham as she rises from the ashes of her landing site, or dirt of her crash landing site in this case. She's still wearing the Red Angel suit, implying that the scene is moments after she arrives in the future. She grabs what appears to be a survival kit containing a communicator, phaser, tricorder, her rank, and insignia badge. Just below her phaser is a clear hexagonal case, which you could speculate is maybe a scientific or medical device of some kind. From it, she snatches the communicator, which suggests she's going to attempt to contact the USS Discovery, as that would be her first priority. The first few words of dialogue by her, "I spent a year," as we see 3 iterations of Burnham shown 3 distinctive hairstyles and an equally changing room behind her, holding the communicator, hinting us that she's been unsuccessful for a period of time, quite possibly for the year, considering how long her hair is by the 3rd version. This style of Burnham is really cool, having long dreadlocks, which is a style she continues to wear throughout the season, it seems from further scenes in the trailer. I personally really like it. The full line of dialogue, "I've spent a year searching for that domino that tipped over and started all of this," could be explaining that the arrival of Discovery, with whom Michael has had no contact, has started some sort of conflict. Now this conflict also could do with the numerous people attacking the duo, Michael and the new character of Cleveland Booker. Who these mysterious attackers are is unknown, but they consist of multiple alien species including Andorians, Cardassians, and Lurians. The lead Andorian is using a concussive blast weapon, which we can see rippling up the corridor towards Michael and Booker as they also aim at each other, which we only see for a split second before they're thrown over by the force of the weapon. But it does seem a bit weird while they're aiming at each other, when seconds before they were taking cover side by side, but the trailer may not be taking place chronologically. As with most of CBS's Star Trek trailers, we found they tend to mislead you into questioning the obvious, which is great for people like me who want to break everything down and make assumptions. The environments are already looking beautiful. We know that they've done filming in Iceland, and it just makes all these environments look great. We see 2 moons in the background in this landscape shot, suggesting the planet is rather unique. Now here's where things get interesting. Booker asks Michael, "You believe in ghosts?" To which she replies, "What does that mean?" He says, "The badge on your shirt." Could this mean that at some point Starfleet disappears in some form or another, and the iconic Delta is all but a memory? This is still interesting, as it hints at the state of the galaxy at this time, and also the state of the Federation. Saru and Sylvia Tilly appear in an opening doorway wearing robes. Bit interesting, but it's not clear where they are, but behind them is a flickering monitor and smoke trails falling from the ceiling. It could be a corridor of the damaged USS Discovery, but why would they be out of uniform? Perhaps it's a place we saw the Andorians that shot at Booker and Burnham, as the panels have the same angles. Who knows? It's also possibly an away mission where Saru and Tilly are exploring the populated areas and not revealing who they are. You think our crew has to be careful as they don't know anything about the time frame they're in. A new character voice says, "I watch this office every day, believing our hope was not in vain," as the United Federations of Planet flag unfolds down the wall, watched by Michael and Booker, who are then joined by this new character who says, "And that hope is you, Commander Burnham," showing her expression of surprise. That full line of dialogue see changes of Michael having shorter hair than we've come to know in Season 2, to a longer dreadlock hair. It isn't 100% clear to which of the 2 he's actually talking to, but I believe it's more likely to be around the same time their first meeting and unveils a flag, and therefore the trailer's built that way to make us think it's something else. It's taking place in a different time frame. We don't exactly know. Again, trailers sometimes mislead us. This man could be the Federation president, but what is particularly interesting is that the United Federation of Planets flag only has 6 stars on it, whereas it used to have many more stars on it. Maybe the Federation has declined to only 6 member states. Could be a twist for sure. This actually lines up with what we know of an undeveloped Star Trek spin-off show that was to be produced by Bryan Singer. This was meant to show the decline and eventual rebirth of a united federation of planets. I really like this concept, which is meant to be set in the year 3000, so it's cool that Season 3 looks to be reusing the concept which has been almost tried twice before. Next, we see a cave with a milky white pool, with a new character entering in with others in red who we see moments later to be Trills, thanks to their obvious tattoo-like spots on their heads. The pool looks very similar to the one that a Trill would enter to join with a symbiote. Could this be the caves of Makala on Trill, or another? It crossfades to this new character floating in the pool, but why? It has been stated before that a human can become a host, but not for that long. This could be a way for our new character and us, the viewers, to learn all that's happened in the 930 years that the crew have missed. It would be cool, but highly unlikely to be Dax, as the symbiote was 300 when Jadzia became a host, and only likely lived 500 years, unless some magical stuff made it live longer, we don't know. Now, speaking of this mysterious new character, I believe them to potentially be the non-binary character that was rumoured to be in development by CBS. With no official confirmation yet, we can only presume it's them, as we do not recognise this character as someone we've seen before. Saru is speaking, saying, "This ship bears the name Discovery. She has carried us to the future, and it may be our privilege to take that future bright." Now, these words are a really interesting concept that bring hope to the future from leaving a hopeless situation of their fight with Control in the end of Season 2, so maybe that's what Season 3 is going to be about, restoring hope in the future. We see images of the Discovery and the crew reuniting with Michael and some of the other crew of the starship. The next scene we see is very interesting. Preceding is a card saying their fight continues, as we see the engineering bay of Discovery being under guard by some unidentified occupier. We might find Discovery in some very interesting situations in Season 3, aka the future, maybe commandeered by hostile forces. It'll be an interesting twist, and I can't wait to see how it plays out. We then get to see a couple of fight sequences, this one being Booker and Michael fighting against Andorian and possibly Cardassians. This is cool to see Cardassians, as we haven't seen any since Deep Space Nine. They're also carrying the same handheld concussive weapons seen earlier. Perhaps a future weapon design? I'd find it hard to believe that people are still using phasers. We then see Saru and Philippa fighting in some sort of rundown bar against more assailants. Saru is wearing similar garbs as we saw him earlier with Tilly, suggesting this might take place in the same time frame. Perhaps they're searching for Commander Burnham, as she was pictured earlier wearing a similar type of stuff. We see our new character again in what appears to be some Jeffries tubes, doing some sort of diagnostic or test. Fun little bit, they seem to be using a holographic display, which is quite cool. I guess the USS Discovery can get away with using hologram transmissions and more now. We then see a group of 6 beings beam down mid-action as they launch an attack against someone, possibly Booker and Burnham. I love this shot as we see 2 Andorians, but a Cardassian and an unknown species as well as a Lurian. Yep, that's right, a Lurian, the same species as Morn from Deep Space Nine like I mentioned earlier. We're getting a lot of Deep Space Nine representation from this trailer, which is just brilliant as I personally love DS9. Lurians have been seen a lot in recent media, such as the great Discovery tie-in novel, The Enterprise War. Now the next shot's rather interesting. We get to see some of Philippa Georgiou in a command uniform saying, "Let's see how this plays out, shall we?" Philippa being in a command tunic is interesting, as I guess some of the Discovery crew still do not know her true identity, so whether she's pretending to be Prime Georgiou or Mirror Georgiou is still an interesting situation we find ourselves in. I still stand by the point she could be the new captain of a starship, but that'll place Saru in an odd situation, unless she's made first officer. And then we see Michael back in the command tunic. She's finally moved from the science division back into the command division, which is now interesting as we have 3 people who could possibly take captaincy of the USS Discovery: Michael Burnham, Philippa Georgiou, and Saru. One of the last trailer scenes we see is the Discovery jumping into a new area, and my god does the ship simply look great. I can't wait to see her back in action in 2020. Now the final scene, the man who has the Federation flag asks Michael, "Where will you go?" with Michael replying, "Wherever the answers are," as they both hold hands, perhaps in some sort of spiritual way. The title shows, marking the end of the trailer. That's a wrap for our new Star Trek Discovery trailer. It's definitely filled with interesting scenes which will keep us speculating till it comes out in 2020. It's worth noting this serves only as a teaser. Following the wrap of Star Trek Picard in early 2020, we might see a bigger and better trailer for Discovery Season 3. How do you feel about this trailer? Make sure to share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. Getting some legacy Trek species is just great and shows the team's commitment to canon of a past Trek, which is something executives like Alex Kurtzman wanted to honour with this series. New York Comic Con gave us tons of Star Trek information to process this weekend, so if you want to stay up to date with the latest Star Trek news, then make sure to subscribe to Trek Central here on YouTube. You can also follow us on social media or visit our website. For now, I've been Captain Jack, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
You believe in ghosts.
What does that mean?
That badge on your shirt.